Hello, my name is Jill Kunzman, and I am with the Western Great Lakes Bird and Bat Observatory. I have been a lifelong gardener, and part of what I have found most fulfilling in my gardening is the fact that it attracts so many birds and beautiful butterflies and lots of different pollinators. Today I'd like to take you on a little tour of my gardens and share some of the tips in terms of how to attract these wonderful creatures, and in particular the monarch butterfly, which is something I've been really interested in over the last several years as we understand more about how vulnerable this iconic insect is. So I hope you enjoy this video. If you have any questions, please contact us. I have given an email address at the end of this video. Thank you so much for joining us today. Grouping and mingling are two important concepts when you're considering gardening for butterflies and other pollinators. The idea of grouping is to plant a broad mass of a particularly favorite nectar plant that pollinators can see when they're flying from overhead. You can imagine that a big splash of color is going to be more attention-grabbing than just one or two isolated plants. The mingling part of this concept of grouping and mingling comes when you take host plants that are really important to monarch butterflies. That's the only plant that they can lay their eggs on, that the monarch caterpillars will feed on. So by grouping large swaths of, this happens to be purple sage, along with a grouping of common milkweed, you easily attract monarchs who will then lay their eggs. When the caterpillars emerge from their chrysalis, they will then immediately have a good nectar plant nearby to feed on. So this is the grouping and mingling. You can see a little bit before we had some monarchs flitting around in here. You can see the milkweed bugs are busy on this particular milkweed plant as well.